Here, the world feels raw and new. A vast ocean of grass stretches to the horizon. It moves like water, stirred by a wind that never seems to rest. The sky above is a great open canvas. It is a dome of the deepest blue by day. At night, it becomes a blanket of countless glittering stars. This is the Great Plains of North America, a land of immense scale and stark beauty. It is a place of extremes. The sun can be fierce and the winters can be brutal. Yet life has found a way not just to exist here, but to thrive in this magnificent, untamed wilderness. The landscape itself is a character in the story of this land. It is not empty, but full of subtle life and quiet power. The grasses whisper ancient secrets with every gust of wind. The low, rolling hills, known as buttes, rise like islands from the grassy sea. They stand as silent witnesses to the passing of ages. The light here is different. It is sharp and clear, creating long shadows at dawn and dusk. This light paints the plains in 1,000 shades of gold, green, and brown. It is a world of high contrast, where beauty and harshness exist side by side in perfect, delicate balance. To stand here is to feel small. It is to feel the sheer power of nature. The silence is profound, broken only by the cry of a hawk circling high above, or the distant rumble of thunder. This is not a gentle land. It is a place that demands respect. Storms can gather with shocking speed, turning the brilliant blue sky into a dark, angry gray. Lightning splits the air, and rain falls in heavy sheets. The land is shaped by these powerful forces. Every riverbed, every rock formation, tells a story of creation and endurance, a testament to the enduring spirit of the wild. Before the arrival of modern civilization, this was a world teeming with life. Great herds of animals moved across this landscape like a living river. It was a place of immense biodiversity, a complex and intricate web of life. The seasons dictated the rhythm of existence for every living thing. Spring brought new growth and new life. Summer was a time of abundance. Autumn painted the land in fiery colors, and winter brought a deep, cold sleep. To survive here required a deep understanding of these rhythms. It required a connection to the land that went beyond mere existence. Into this immense landscape came people. They were not conquerors, but a part of the land itself. Tribes like the Lakota, the Cheyenne, the Comanche, and the Pawnee made their homes here. Their lives were woven into the fabric of the plains. They did not see the land as something to be owned. They saw it as a mother, a provider, a sacred entity. Their connection was profound. They understood its moods, its dangers, and its gifts. Every landmark, every stream, every cluster of trees held a meaning, a story. Their world was alive with spirits and ancient knowledge. Their lives followed the seasons and the movements of the great animal herds. They were nomadic, their homes designed for a life on the move. The tipi, an ingenious conical tent, was their shelter. It was warm in winter and cool in summer. It could be taken down and packed up in a matter of hours. This mobility was key to their survival. It allowed them to follow the bison, their primary source of life, across the vast grasslands. Their entire culture, their entire existence, was shaped by this constant, rhythmic movement across the face of the plains, a dance with the land itself. The people of the plains were keen observers. They knew the language of the wind and the stars. They could read the tracks of animals in the dust. They knew which plants could heal and which could provide nourishment. This knowledge was not written in books. It was passed down through generations, through stories, songs, and ceremonies. The elders were the keepers of this wisdom. They taught the young how to live in harmony with their environment. To be a member of the tribe was to be part of a living library of survival skills, a community bound together by shared experience. This deep spiritual connection was visible in every aspect of their lives. They gave thanks for the gifts of the earth. A hunt was not just a quest for food, it was a sacred act. A prayer was offered to the spirit of the animal. Every part of the creature was used, a sign of ultimate respect. Nothing was wasted. This philosophy of gratitude and respect ensured that they lived in balance with their world. They understood that their survival depended not on dominating nature, but on being a respectful and integral part of it. Their culture was a testament to this profound and beautiful relationship. Survival on the Great Plains was a constant challenge, but no season tested the people's resilience more than winter. The wind, which was a constant companion, became a ruthless enemy. It howled across the open land, carrying with it biting snow and ice. Temperatures would plummet to unimaginable lows. The vibrant sea of grass would disappear under a thick, white blanket. The world became a stark, monochromatic landscape. For the tribes, the arrival of the first heavy snow was a signal. It was time to prepare for the great trial, a battle for survival against the cold. Food became scarce. The great herds of bison would migrate to more sheltered areas, harder to find and harder to hunt. Other animals would burrow deep, hibernating until the spring. The berries and roots that supplemented their diet were buried under feet of snow. The people relied on the stores they had gathered during the autumn. Dried meat, called pemmican, was a lifeline. It was a mixture of dried, pounded bison meat, melted fat, and sometimes berries. This energy-rich food could sustain them through the longest, coldest months when fresh food was an impossible luxury. The success of their autumn preparations could mean the difference between life and death. The cold was a relentless, creeping danger. It seeped through the skins of the teepees. It made every task outside a painful ordeal. Frostbite was a constant threat. Keeping the fire alive inside the tipi was a critical, around-the-clock job. Wood was scarce on the open plains, so they often used dried bison dung, known as buffalo chips. It burned slowly and provided a steady source of heat. The small flame at the center of their home was the heart of their winter survival. It was a beacon of warmth and life in a world that had seemingly frozen solid, a tiny sun in their small universe. This was also a time of great stillness and introspection. With hunting and gathering activities curtailed, families would spend long hours together inside their shelters. It was a time for storytelling. Elders would recount the history of their people, the tales of heroes, and the sacred stories of creation. Children would learn the songs and traditions that defined their culture. Skills were honed, tools were repaired, clothing was mended, and intricate beadwork was created. Winter, as harsh as it was also a time that strengthened the bonds of family and community, ensuring that their culture, as well as their bodies, would survive the cold. Of all the creatures that roamed the plains, one stood above all others in importance, the American bison, often called the buffalo. These magnificent animals were the lifeblood of the plains tribes. They moved in colossal herds, sometimes so large they would darken the landscape for miles. Their thundering hooves sounded like rolling thunder. To see such a herd on the move was to witness one of the great spectacles of the natural world. For the tribes, the bison was more than just an animal. It was a sacred gift from the Creator, the ultimate symbol of abundance and life. The bison provided everything the people needed to survive. Its meat was their primary source of food, eaten fresh after a hunt or dried and preserved for the long winter months. Its thick hide with the hair left on became warm winter robes, blankets, and tipi covers. When tanned, the leather was used to make clothing, moccasins, and shields. The bones were shaped into tools, from knives and arrowheads to scrapers and hoes. Even the stomach was used as a cooking vessel or a water container. The horns were carved into spoons and cups. Absolutely nothing was wasted. The bison was a walking department store for the plains. Hunting the bison was a dangerous and complex undertaking. It required immense skill, courage, and cooperation. Before the arrival of horses, hunts were conducted on foot. Hunters would sometimes disguise themselves in wolf skins, crawling slowly towards the herd. A more common method was the bison jump, where hunters would skillfully guide a herd towards a cliff. The animals would stampede over the edge, providing a large amount of meat for the entire community. This was a communal effort, a highly coordinated event that showcased the tribe's deep understanding of animal behavior and their incredible teamwork. The relationship with the bison was deeply spiritual. Hunts were preceded by ceremonies and prayers. The people asked the spirit of the bison for its gift of life. They believed that the bison gave themselves willingly to the people who showed them respect. This sacred bond was reflected in their art, their stories, and their religious beliefs. The white buffalo calf woman, a central figure in Lakota spirituality, brought the sacred pipe and taught the people how to live in a good way. The bison was not just a resource, it was a relative, a spiritual guide, and the very heart of their culture. The survival of the Great Plains tribes was not a matter of luck. It was the result of a remarkable set of skills, a powerful social structure, and a deep, guiding philosophy. Their resilience was built on 3 pillars: individual skill, the strength of the community, and a profound respect for the natural world. Every individual was expected to contribute. From a young age, children learned the skills they would need as adults. Boys practiced with small bows and arrows, learning to track and hunt. Girls learned how to prepare hides, sew clothing, and identify edible and medicinal plants. Life was a continuous education. Community was the bedrock of their society. The tribe was an extended family, and cooperation was essential for survival. The success of a great hunt benefited everyone. The care of children was a shared responsibility. The elders were revered for their wisdom and experience, and their guidance was sought on all important matters. In times of hardship, the tribe pulled together. Food was shared, and the vulnerable were protected. This powerful sense of community ensured that no one was left to face the harsh realities of the plains alone. The group was stronger than the individual. Their respect for the environment was not just a spiritual belief, it was a practical survival strategy. They understood that their lives depended on the health of the land and its creatures. They took only what they needed. They wasted nothing. This principle of conservation ensured that the resources of the plains would be there for future generations. They saw themselves as caretakers of the land, not its masters. This worldview created a sustainable way of life that had endured for centuries. It was a delicate balance, maintained through careful observation, deep respect, and a sense of gratitude for the gifts of the earth. This combination of skill, community, and respect formed a circle of resilience. It allowed them to adapt to a constantly changing environment. They could endure droughts, brutal winters, and other natural challenges. When a resource became scarce in one area, their nomadic lifestyle allowed them to move to another. When a new challenge arose, the combined wisdom of the community would find a solution. Their society was fluid and adaptable, much like the grasses of the plains themselves. It could bend in the wind without breaking, always finding a way to spring back, to endure, and to thrive. Stand here now, close your eyes, feel the sun on your skin and the constant press of the wind. Listen. Can you hear it? It is more than just the rustle of the tall grass. It is an echo. It is the faint, distant sound of children's laughter from a camp of tipis. It is the whisper of a story being told by an elder. It is the thunder of a million hooves as a great bison herd moves across the earth. This land is not empty. It is full of ghosts and memories. The spirits of the people who lived here are still present, their presence woven into the very fabric of this place. Imagine the world as they saw it, a world alive with meaning and spirit. Every sunrise was a renewal. Every storm was a display of power. Every animal was a brother. To live here was to be part of a grand, sacred drama. It was to know your place in the great circle of life. It was to understand that all things are connected: the sky, the land, the animals, and the people. Their lives were a testament to this understanding. They walked across this land with a sense of purpose and belonging that is hard for us to comprehend in our modern world. The challenges they faced were immense. They lived on a knife's edge, balanced between abundance and scarcity, between life and death. Yet they did not just survive, they created a culture of incredible richness and beauty. They lived with courage, ingenuity, and a deep, abiding grace. They faced the harshest conditions not with despair, but with a resilience born of community and faith. Their story is not one of victimhood, but of strength. It is a powerful reminder of the human capacity to adapt and to find meaning in a world that is often unforgiving. The great herds are gone now. The endless sea of grass has been tamed by fences and plows. But the wind still blows across the plains. The sky is still vast and magnificent. And if you listen closely with your heart, you can still hear the echoes. The echoes of a forgotten world. A world of immense beauty and profound wisdom. The story of the Great Plains tribes is a story that should not be forgotten. It is a story that is carried on the wind, a timeless lesson in what it means to live in balance with the earth.